Okay, ladies, I need to talk to you. This is very, very serious. There are too many of you doing something that you should not be doing. Point blank, period. You should not ever argue with a man, negotiate with a man to love you. You shouldn't have to beg him to love you. You should not have to check his phone, see who he's talking to, beg him to stop texting at night while y'all are in the bed. You should not have to talk to his mama and figure out what is wrong with his mind. Why is he acting this way? You should never tolerate domestic violence. You should never tolerate going to some other woman's house where he's hanging out. Like, we have to know our worth. Point blank, period. And let me tell you why many of you all don't. It's because your parents never told you your value. If you ever come across somebody that knows their value, it usually comes from the parents. But there are so many women out here, and it starts when we're young girls. Because guess what? We want someone to fill this spot in our life. We want this other person because it makes us feel loved. It makes us feel cared for, right? It's human nature. I totally get it. It's human nature to want to share your life with someone, to have a partner, to have a good time. And, when you're young, to have your boo, to have your other half, to have someone to call, to have someone to hang out with, someone to do the homework with, whatever the case is, right? And as we get older, life starts happening and we start betraying ourselves as young adults. We forget, or we never knew, our value because our parents or someone has not told us that that's not what women should do. I had a client today and she told me she checks her man's mileage. She's got an air tag on his car. She goes through his phones. She's blocking people from his phone. Like, that's too much work. That man is not checking for you if you got to do all that. He's checking for somebody else. And she did all that because she can't trust him because he cheated on her. And this is where we get effed up, women. This is where we get effed up. Because if a man, see, it's a situation, right? It's a human nature situation. Women care too much. We care way too effing much. You're not going to really catch men doing all that. And if they do all that, you need to get away from them. Because that's crazy. If you look at yourself, you're going to see, like, those behaviors are wild. But we can't really discern that because we're not in our objective mind. It's easier for other people outside of us to see we're doing way too much. We care too much. We're begging too much. We're negotiating too much. We're acting outside of our feminine character too much. You shouldn't have to do all that to get a man. Because guess what? Even if you get him, he don't really want you. Because if he did, why would you have to do all that? I have been told many times by men, because I asked them, I asked my clients, when I had relationship clients, I asked them, does this woman need to beg you to love her? And they tell me no. If a man loves a woman, if a man likes a woman, if a man wants to be with a particular woman, he's going to do what he needs to do authentically. They already know what to do. And women, we have to understand this because nobody's telling us straight. And if they are, they're probably telling us while we're in the midst of our chemical drunkenness, this love drunk punch. And we can't get right because it's the wrong part of our brain operating. Listen, when all those chemicals, those love chemicals, the oxytocin, the dopamine, all those chemicals, when they're popping off and we're in this trance because we've lost our mind, we're doing too much. When that's happening, our logical mind is not operating. So if somebody's trying to talk to you logically, you're not comprehending, you're not processing that information because your subconscious mind has been taken hostage by these chemicals. So I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you as a woman who's been there. When I was in my 20s, I did the most trying to keep my relationship together. For what? Let the person go. If that person doesn't authentically show up for you the way you need them to show up for you, either they are not the right person or they don't know what they're doing, and you ain't got time to train them. Go get yourself right. Look in the mirror and ask yourself if you understand your value, your worth. Do you understand that you are a child of the Most High God? Do you understand that you are the daughter of the King? You don't have to go out here hunting men down, chasing after them. If they're at another chick's house, you going over there. Listen, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Your value goes down when you do stuff like that. Who wants someone doing all that? Because if he doesn't show up, he ain't going to show up just because you're chasing him down. And if he does, you don't want that person. That's toxic. You want a partnership. You want someone who's going to show up because they want to show up. You want a man who shows up because he has honor. He has self-respect, that he is a true man, and he understands what that means. He is a leader within the home. He's an example. He's not somebody you got to chase down and check the mileage and put air tags on the car. Whoo, child, that's too much. So, check your self-esteem. Check your self-esteem. Look at you, because you are attracting into your life the quality of people that you're in vibrational alignment with. And listen, there's no shame here, because most women go through this because our mothers and our fathers did not teach us well. It's just the truth. Mothers and fathers fail their children. They don't mean to. Maybe they didn't know they were supposed to teach you. But the point is here you are. Here you are. So if you are unhappy in a relationship, you really need to look at why. And if your partner doesn't want to go to couples counseling, you need to ask yourself, why are you so invested in a relationship where the other person is not? And you got to ask yourself, why are you prioritizing someone who is not prioritizing you? That right there is heavy. Why are you prioritizing someone that's not prioritizing you? When I heard that, I was like, wow, that's a word right there. That's a word. Straighten your crown. Understand who you are in Christ. Understand you are a child of the Most High God. Understand that you are a woman who attracts. You do not chase. It is better to be alone than in bad company. You don't need to chase after someone for them to love you or be in your life, because even if you get them, that is toxic energy. It's a chaotic cycle of the mind. You have to wake up. You have to snap out of it. Truly, you have to snap out of it. Stop begging. And I emphasize that because I've been there decades ago, child. Not anymore. I ain't begging shit now, I'll tell you that. But stop begging anybody. Stop begging, period. You are a child of Most High God. We command. We declare, we decree, we proclaim, and we receive. We don't beg. We don't do that. No, we're not doing that no more. We're not doing that. So tell your sisters, tell your friends, tell whoever it is that you know needs this. Just share it with them. Because if you don't hold yourself with esteem, why is anybody else going to hold you in esteem? And if you're losing your esteem, your self-respect, your worth, by chasing after someone who clearly is giving you every signal in the book that they don't want to be with you because you have to chase them. That's clear evidence. If you're chasing them, they don't want to be with you. And if they say they want to be with you, they're both-faced lie, or they're just using you. They want to be with you because they're using you. Okay? So get it together. Please get it together, because we need to be better examples for the girls coming up behind us. Okay? All right. Take care of you. Know your worth.